What if the very thing you've been doing every single morning is the exact reason your body refuses to heal? I know that sounds like an accusation, but stay with me here, because what you're about to discover will completely shift the way you understand the invisible conversation happening between your mind and your physical body right now. Right now, at this exact moment, something extraordinary is taking place beneath your skin. While you're reading these words, your body is performing millions of microscopic miracles. Your cells are dividing with mathematical precision, your immune system is hunting down threats you'll never see, and damaged tissues are quietly rebuilding themselves in the darkness of your biology. This isn't some distant promise about what might happen if you find the right supplement or the perfect treatment. This is happening now. But here's the problem that nobody talks about: the hidden sabotage that keeps most people trapped in a cycle of suffering they don't even realize they're creating. Has this ever happened to you? You wake up, and before you even fully open your eyes, your mind starts doing something that feels completely natural. You begin scanning, searching, cataloging every ache, every tension, every signal of discomfort. It's automatic. You mentally rehearse the pain in your lower back. You remind yourself about the chronic condition you've been diagnosed with. You predict how the day will unfold based on how broken you feel in that moment. And then you do something that seems harmless, but is actually devastatingly powerful. You speak. You declare your reality with words like, "I'm in pain today," or "My body is failing me again," or "This condition controls my life." But before we go deeper into this hidden mechanism, please hit the like button and let me know where in the world you're watching from today. It's always fascinating seeing who's joining us from around the world. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our future videos. Now, here's what most people don't understand about those seemingly innocent morning rituals. Your body isn't just a passive machine that randomly breaks down. It's listening. Every single word you say about yourself, every thought you repeat, every identity you claim as your own is being translated into precise biochemical instructions. When you declare, "I am sick," your cells receive that message as a command. When you identify with your pain, your nervous system organizes itself around that story. You're not describing reality. You're literally constructing it, word by word, thought by thought, belief by belief. The language you use isn't floating harmlessly in your consciousness. It's being encoded into your biology, transformed into chemistry, expressed through your symptoms. And this is where everything you thought you knew about healing begins to unravel. Because what if the reason you haven't healed isn't because your body is broken beyond repair? What if the real obstacle is that you've been speaking a language your body interprets as a command to stay exactly as you are? What you're about to discover in the next part goes deeper than positive thinking or manufactured optimism. This is about understanding the hidden conversation your body has been trying to have with you all along, and why learning to listen in a completely different way might be the missing piece that changes. Now, I want to go even deeper into this transformation, because understanding where healing actually begins will change every decision you make from this moment forward. Most people believe their brain is running the show, that their thoughts alone control their physical reality. But there's a hidden truth operating behind the scenes that modern science has only recently begun to measure, and it completely shifts the paradigm of how healing actually works. Your heart isn't just a pump. It's not simply pushing blood through your veins, while your brain does all the real thinking. Your heart contains approximately 40,000 specialized cells that function remarkably like brain cells. They think, they learn, they remember, and they do all of this independently from the brain sitting in your skull. This isn't mystical language or spiritual poetry. This is measurable, documented biological reality that changes everything about the journey you're on right now. Here's the revelation that most people miss entirely. Your heart is in constant communication with your brain, but the conversation isn't balanced. Your heart is sending far more signals upward than your brain sends back down. When you generate genuine emotions in your heart, real gratitude, authentic compassion, deep appreciation, those feelings create precise signals that travel directly to your brain. Your brain then responds by releasing chemistry that mirrors the quality of those emotions. Positive, coherent emotions trigger hormones that strengthen your immune system, activate anti-aging mechanisms, and create the exact internal environment your body needs for regeneration to accelerate. If this resonated with you, I'd genuinely love to have you subscribe. There's so much more we're going to explore together, and I don't want you to miss what's coming next. But this is where most people sabotage their own healing without realizing it. They make a critical mistake that keeps them trapped in the very cycle they're desperately trying to escape. Has this ever happened to you? You pray for healing. You ask for your body to get better. You plead with the universe to fix what's broken. And every single time you do this, what are you actually declaring? Think about it for just a moment. When you ask for healing, you're announcing to yourself, to your cells, to the fabric of reality itself, that you are sick right now. You're affirming that health doesn't exist in your present moment. You're identifying with the illness rather than the wellness. The secret to manifestation, and yes, healing is manifestation, isn't asking for what you want. It's feeling the feeling of already having it. This is how consciousness interacts with physical matter. Your cells don't respond to the circumstances you're observing with your eyes. They respond to the reality you're feeling in your heart. When you embody the state of already being healed, when you feel it with genuine emotion, not manufactured positivity but authentic feeling, something extraordinary happens beneath the surface. The chemistry flooding your system changes completely. The signals your heart sends to your brain shift entirely. Your body begins receiving completely different instructions. And the impact of this shift operates at levels you can't see, but you absolutely can feel. Write in the comments, "My heart is leading my healing," if this resonates with where you are right now on your journey. Because what happens next in this process reveals why some people seem to recover, while others with the same diagnosis remain stuck, and it has nothing to do with the fundamental shift that needs to happen in your consciousness. Isn't about fighting harder or trying to be more positive. It's about understanding where healing actually begins, and most people get this completely backwards. Healing doesn't start when the symptoms finally disappear. That's not the starting point. Healing begins the precise moment you stop identifying with the wound itself. The moment you shift from saying "I am sick" to understanding "my body is communicating with me," everything changes at a level that operates beneath your conscious awareness. This isn't about willpower or forcing yourself to think happy thoughts while you're suffering. This is about the fundamental relationship between your identity and your biology. Here's the hidden truth that changes the entire game. Your unconscious mind doesn't distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what's actually happening in physical reality. When you repeatedly tell yourself, "I am broken," when you rehearse your limitations every single morning, when you claim the illness as your permanent identity, your subconscious doesn't question this narrative. It accepts it as an instruction manual, and your body, faithful and obedient, follows the blueprint you've been feeding it. Has this ever happened to you? You wake up feeling relatively okay, but the moment you remember your diagnosis, your chronic condition, suddenly your body tightens. Your breathing becomes shallow. The symptoms intensify almost immediately. This isn't coincidence. This is the power of identification revealing itself in real time. The impact of recognizing this truth is enormous because it means you're not powerless in this process. You're not a victim of random biology. You're an active participant in a conversation with your own physical form. But here's where most people take a devastating wrong turn on their healing journey. They try to force their way to health. They demand that their body just get better already. They push, they criticize, they treat healing like a battle that needs to be won through sheer determination and willpower. And the body, it doesn't respond to force the way we think it should. It contracts. It protects itself. It remains in a state of defense, locked in survival mode, unable to access the deeper regenerative capacities that only emerge when safety is felt. The revolutionary truth that changes everything is this: the body obeys the mind that loves, not the mind that pushes, not the mind that demands perfection or criticizes every setback. When you speak to yourself with genuine kindness, when you place your hand on the part of you that hurts and whisper, "I love you, thank you for carrying me through this," something extraordinary happens at the cellular level. Your organs literally soften. The chronic tension you've been holding for months or years begins to release. Your immune system, which has been operating in survival mode, finally awakens to its true capacity for restoration. Put in the comments, "I choose love over force," if you're ready to make this shift in how you relate to your body, because what most people completely miss in their healing journey is that the transformation they're seeking doesn't require years of struggle. What it requires is understanding something fundamental about the revelation that emerges from understanding this new relationship with your body is something most people completely overlook in their desperate search for healing. We've been conditioned to see our bodies as broken machines that need fixing, as enemies that betrayed us, as systems that are working against our happiness and freedom. And this perspective, this fundamental misunderstanding of what your body actually is, keeps people trapped in cycles of suffering that feel endless. If this video served you in some way, go ahead and hit that like button. It helps other people who are searching for these answers find their way here. Your body isn't your enemy. It's not a malfunctioning system that randomly decided to cause you pain or discomfort. Your body is a faithful companion that has been carrying the weight of your fears, your chronic stress, your unprocessed emotions with remarkable devotion every single day. Think about this for just a moment. Every single day, your body has been doing its absolute best to keep you alive, to keep you moving forward, to communicate what it needs from you. When your body hurts, it's not attacking you. It's speaking to you in the only language it knows. When it tightens or contracts, it's not betraying you. It's calling for comfort, not criticism. It's asking for your attention, your care, your partnership in this journey. Understanding this transforms everything. Your healing journey stops being a battle you need to win and becomes a conversation you need to have. The impact of this shift in perspective operates behind the scenes of your awareness, changing the chemistry of your thoughts, the quality of your decisions, the trajectory of your recovery in ways you won't immediately see, but you will absolutely feel over time. But here's what needs to be said, and this is where most people feel relief for the first time in their journey. You don't need certainty to begin this transformation. You don't need unwavering faith or absolute conviction that this will work. You don't need to manufacture belief out of thin air or pretend you're healed when doubt is still whispering in your mind. What's actually needed is something far more accessible, something you already have available to you in this exact moment. Willingness, just willingness. Willingness to see yourself as whole, even if you can't fully believe it yet. Willingness to remember that wholeness exists somewhere within you, beneath the layers of pain and diagnosis and fear. Willingness to live as though healing is genuinely possible, even if you've been disappointed before. This small opening, this gentle permission you give yourself, begins a quiet transformation that happens beneath the surface of your conscious awareness. Like seeds planted in soil, you don't see the intricate work happening underground. The roots spreading, the nutrients being absorbed, the foundation being established. But the work is happening. The transformation is already in motion. Write in the comments, I'm willing to see myself differently if this resonates with where you are right now. Because what happens when you plant these seeds of willingness in your consciousness is that your entire system begins responding to the practical application of this willingness. This gentle shift in how you see yourself doesn't require the grand gestures or dramatic lifestyle overhauls that most people assume healing demands. You don't need to quit your job, move to a retreat center, or completely reorganize your entire existence. The transformation you're seeking begins with the smallest decisions, the quietest moments that most people dismiss as insignificant or too simple to matter. Living as your healed self starts the moment you wake up. Instead of immediately bracing against the day, you stretch slowly, deliberately, allowing your body to unfold at its own pace. You let morning sunlight touch your face for just 30 seconds and actually feel it on your skin instead of rushing past the moment. When you choose what to wear, you prioritize comfort over obligation, listening to what your body is asking for rather than forcing yourself into clothes that constrict or irritate. Before you eat, you take one conscious breath and acknowledge that you're about to nourish yourself, transforming a mechanical act into a moment of care. These micro-adjustments might seem trivial. They might feel too small to create the transformation you're desperate for. But here's the hidden truth operating behind the scenes. Every single one of these tiny decisions is reprogramming your entire system. You're teaching your body a new language, one syllable at a time. You're creating new patterns that your nervous system begins to recognize and trust. Each gentle choice is a signal that safety exists, that care is present, that healing is possible right now in this moment. The impact of these seemingly simple practices accumulates in ways that defy conventional measurement, because what's actually happening at the cellular level is profound. Each loving thought toward yourself, each moment of self-compassion, each decision made from kindness rather than criticism creates actual biochemical changes in your body. This isn't metaphor or wishful thinking. Every gentle decision is medicine without side effects. Every compassionate thought is surgery without pain, restructuring your internal landscape one microscopic shift at a time. You're establishing new defaults in your system, new neural pathways that become stronger with each repetition, new chemical responses that begin operating automatically beneath your conscious awareness. The journey you're on isn't about forcing yourself to believe something you don't feel. It's about making small choices that gradually teach your body what wholeness feels like, what safety tastes like, what genuine care sounds like when it's directed inward instead of always outward. Put in the comments, small steps, big shifts, if you're ready to start implementing these micro-adjustments in your own life. Because what happens when you begin living this way, even just a little bit, is that your body starts responding to a completely different set of instructions. And the revelation of, if you made it all the way here, I want you to know that says something important about you. You're not just passively consuming content and moving on to the next distraction. You're actively choosing to invest in your own transformation, to question the narratives you've been living under, to explore what becomes possible when you shift your relationship with your body and the way you listen to what it's been trying to tell you all along. This channel exists because these conversations matter, because someone needs to be talking about the intersection of mind, body, and the hidden patterns that shape our reality in ways conventional approaches completely miss. If this resonated with you, if something shifted even slightly while you were here, I'd genuinely love to have you subscribe. There's so much more we're going to explore together, and I don't want you to miss what's coming next. And leave me a comment saying, this message was meant for me, so I know you were here, so I know this landed with someone who needed to hear it today. Your engagement genuinely helps these ideas reach others who are searching for a different way forward. People who are tired of the same old approaches that haven't worked. If this video served you in some way, go ahead and hit that like button. Not because I'm asking you to, but because it helps other people who are struggling with the same questions find their way here. That simple click creates a ripple effect you might not see, but it absolutely matters. There's a video right here that goes even deeper into how your daily habits are either supporting or sabotaging your body's natural healing intelligence. It's the perfect next step in this journey. Click and continue with me over there.